General Edward Lawrence Logan International Airport is an international airport located in the East Boston neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts. It covers 2,384 acres, has 6 runways, and employs an estimated 16,000 people. The largest airport in New England, as of 2010, Logan is the 19th busiest airport in the United States, with about 13.5 million boardings a year and over 29.3 million passengers overall in 2012. Logan had 30.2 million passengers overall, in 2013, and it is estimated that as many as 33 million passengers will fly through the airport in 2014. The airport serves as a focus city for JetBlue Airways, as well as a hub for Delta Airlines, regional airline Cape Verde, and for commuter airline PenAir. U.S. Airways also carry out many operations from the airport. All of the major U.S. air carriers offer flights from Boston to all or the majority of their primary and secondary hubs. It is also a destination of many major European airlines. The airport has frequent service to destinations in the United States, as well as Canada, the Caribbean, Mexico, Panama, the Cape Verde Islands, Europe, and Asia. Recently, Logan has seen rapid growth in international traffic, with new routes being added by airlines such as Emirates, Japan Airlines and Hainan Airlines, as well as increased traffic on previously existing routes to Europe. History. Logan Airport opened on September 8, 1923, and was used mainly by the Massachusetts Air Guard and the Army Air Corps. It was then called Jeffrey Field. The first scheduled commercial passenger flights were on Colonial Air Transport between Boston and New York City in 1927. On January 1, 1936, the airport's weather station became as the official point for Boston's weather observations and records by the National Weather Service. Until around 1950, the airline terminal was at 42.367 N 71.0275 W. On the 1946 topo map, the airfield extended less than 5,000 ft east from there. During the 1940s, the airport added 1,800 acres of landfill in Boston Harbor, taken from the former governors, Noddles and Apple Islands. In 1943, the state renamed the airport after General Edward Lawrence Logan after a Spanish-American war officer from South Boston. In 1952, Logan Airport became the first in the United States with an indirect rapid transit connection, with the opening of the airport station on the Blue Line. The March 1947 diagram shows 7,000 ft runway 4 in use, with runways 9 and 33 under construction. A different runway 33 ran 6,700 ft northwestward from the present intersection of 4 and 9. And runway 25 ran 4,000 ft southwest from the present intersection of 4L and 33. The December 1950 diagram shows a layout similar to the current one: 7,000 ft runway 4L, 10,000 foot 4R, 7,000 foot 9 and 7650 foot 33. The April 1957 official airline guide shows 49 weekday departures on American, 31 Eastern, 25 Northeast, 8 United, 7 TWA domestic, 6 National, 6 Mohawk, 2 TCA and 1 Provincetown Boston. In addition, TWA had 9 departures a week to or from the Atlantic, Pan Am had 18, Air France 8, BOAC 4 and LAI 4. The era of the jumbo jet began at Logan in summer 1970 when Pan Am started daily Boeing 747s to London Heathrow Airport. In 2014, the Boeing 747 is scheduled on flights to Boston by Air France, British Airways, and Lufthansa. When Terminal E opened in 1974, it was the second largest international arrivals facility in the United States. Since then, the number of international travelers at Logan has tripled. International long-haul travel has been the fastest-growing market sector at Logan. Massachusetts Port Authority undertook the Logan Modernization project from 1994 to 2006, a new parking garage, a new hotel, moving walkways, terminal expansions and improvements, and 2-tiered roadways to separate arrival and departure traffic. Massport's relationship with nearby communities has been strained since the mid-1960s. when the agency took control of a parcel of residential land and popular fishing area near the northwest side of the airfield. This project was undertaken to extend runway 15R/33L, which later became Logan's longest runway. Residents of the neighborhood, known as Wood Island, were bought out of their homes and forced to relocate. Public opposition came to a head when residents lay down in the streets to block bulldozers and supply trucks from reaching the construction zone. Runway 14/32 opened on November 23, 2006, Logan's first major runway addition in more than 40 years. It was proposed in 1973 but was delayed in the courts. According to Mass Sport records, the very first aircraft to use the new airstrip was a Continental Express ERJ-145 regional jet landing on runway 32, on the morning of December 2, 2006. In April 2007 the FAA approved construction of a center-field taxiway long sought by Mass Sport. The 9,300-foot taxiway is between, and parallel to, runways 4R/22L and 4L/22R. News of the project angered neighboring residents. In 2009 the taxiway opened ahead of schedule and under budget. To ensure the taxiway is not mistaken for a runway, taxi is written in large yellow letters at each end. A scene from the 2006 film The Departed was filmed at Logan, inside the connector bridge between Terminal E and the central parking garage. Terminal C and several United Airlines and Northwest Airlines aircraft can be seen in the background. Parts of the Delta Airlines 2007 Anthem commercial were filmed in Terminal A as well as the connector bridge between Terminal A and central parking. In October 2009 U.S. Airways announced it would close its Boston crew base in May 2010. The airline cited an operations realignment as the reason. Over 400 employees were transferred or terminated. After starting service to Logan in 2004, JetBlue Airways was a major operator at Logan Airport by 2008 and its largest carrier by 2011, with flights to cities throughout North America and the Caribbean. The airline has plans to expand to 150-plus flights by the end of 2015. Logan had no service to East Asia from 2001, when Korean Air discontinued service to Seoul, South Korea, until 2011. Boston also had service to Asia on El Al to Tel Aviv. The introduction of the long-range, fuel-efficient Boeing 787 made non-stop flights from Boston to Asia economical. In 2008, Mass Sport announced that Hainan Airlines had applied to the Civil Aviation Administration of China for approval of daily non-stops from Boston to Beijing on Boeing 787s, but the service was ultimately delayed by several years. On December 4, 2013, Hainan Airlines announced that it would launch 4 weekly flights from Boston to Beijing beginning June 20, 2014 after the airline was granted government approval for the route. Japan Airlines' first Boeing 787 route was from Narita near Tokyo to Boston, beginning 4 times weekly on April 22, 2012 and becoming daily on June 1, 2012. American Airlines code shares on the route. In 2012, the route performed very well and drove a significant increase in travelers from Asia to Boston. The 787 was grounded on January 16, 2013 due to smoldering batteries, returning to regular service to Logan on June 1, 2013. While the 787 was grounded, JAL operated a Boeing 777 on the Boston-Tokyo route at reduced frequency. Qatar Airways has announced that they will begin service to Boston once they begin receiving 787s in 2013. However, no firm start date has been announced. The Airbus A380 first landed at Logan Airport for compatibility checks on February 8, 2010. The airplane was also transporting a submarine back to its manufacturer for later use in the search for Air France Flight 447. The airport has since been a diversion for A380 flights. Emirates has expressed interest in flying the A380 to Logan by the end of 2014. The airline currently operates daily non-stop service from Boston on a Boeing 777-300ER. Logan Airport surpassed the 30 million passenger mark in the 2013 calendar year, at 30.2 million passengers. Massport predicts more than 33 million passengers to cross Logan in 2014 with the addition of Emirates, Hainan Airlines, and Turkish Airlines alongside Delta's large expansion at Boston and JetBlue's continued growth. Statistics. For the 12-month period ending January 31, 2010, the airport had 337,229 aircraft operations, an average of 924 per day, 62% scheduled commercial, 33% air taxi and 5% general aviation. As of 2010, Logan is the 19th busiest airport in the United States with about 13.5 million boardings a year. In 2010, Logan was the world's 28th busiest airport in terms of aircraft movements. The airport is also the 12th busiest airport in the U.S. based on international traffic. In 2010, it handled 3,681,739 international passengers. In 2012, it handled 4,350,597 international passengers, a 9.8% increase from 2011. Logan Airport stimulates the New England regional economy by approximately $7.6 billion per year, generating $559.4 a million in state and local tax receipts, as of 2006. In 2011, Logan Airport served an all-time high of 28,800,000 passengers, a 5% increase from 2010. In 2010, Logan Airport handled about 27,428,962 passengers, about 3,681,739 of whom were international passengers. JetBlue carried 26.85% of all passengers for the 12-month period ending November 30, 2012. Other leading carriers include United Airlines, US Airways, American Airlines, and Delta Airlines. These figures do not include US Airways Express or Delta Connection, each of which has significant operations at Logan Airport. Logan Airport also handled over £546 million of cargo and mail. As of February 2011, Logan ranks 14th among major U.S. airports for on-time domestic departures with 80% of domestic flights departing on time. The airport ranks 25th in on-time domestic arrivals with 76% of domestic flights arriving on time. Logan has flights to the Azores and Cape Verde because they link Azores American and Cape Verdean American communities in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Facilities and infrastructure, located partly in East Boston and partly in the town of Winthrop, on Boston Harbor, Logan International Airport covers an area of 2,384 acres which contains 6 runways, Runway 4L/22R, 7,861 150 ft, surface, asphalt, Runway 4R/22L, 10,005 150 ft, surface, asphalt, Runway 9/27, 7,000 150 ft, surface, asphalt, Runway 14/32, 5,000 100 ft, surface, asphalt, Runway 15L/33R, 2,557 100 ft, surface, asphalt, Runway 15R/33L, 10,083 150 ft, surface, asphalt. ILS is available for runways 4R, 15R, 22L, 27, and 33L, with runway 4R being certified for Cat 3 instrument landing operations. The other runways with ILS are certified for Cat I instrument landing operations. EMAS pads are located at the starting thresholds of runways 22R and 33L. The distinctive Central Control Tower, nearly a dozen stories high, is a local landmark with its pair of segmented elliptical pylons and a 6-story platform trussed between them. Logan Airport has 2 cargo facilities, North Cargo is adjacent to Terminal E and South Cargo adjacent to Terminals A and B. North Cargo is also the location of several maintenance hangars, including those operated by American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and JetBlue. Runway 14/32, Runway 14/32, which officially opened to air traffic on November 23, 2006, is unidirectional. Runway 32 is used for landings and 14 is used for takeoffs. Massport is barred by a court order from using the runway for overland landings or takeoffs, except in emergencies. There was fierce opposition to the construction of 14/32 among communities adjacent to the northwest side of the airport, such as Chelsea and East Boston, as authorities acknowledged that these areas would likely see a slight increase in noise levels. Residents of Winthrop and Revere also joined in opposition, even though Massport had promised that the new traffic patterns allowed by 14/32 would reduce overflights of those areas. Since the opening of the new runway, there has been disagreement about when, and how often, the new runway should be operational. Residents have demanded a minimum of 11.5-knot northwest winds, slightly higher than the 10-knot threshold favored by Massport. The new runway reduces the need for the existing runway 15L/33R, which, at only 2,557 feet, is among the shortest hard-surface runways at major airports in the United States. In 1988, Massport had proposed an 800-foot extension to this airstrip, but was thwarted by a court injunction. Boston's Hyatt Harborside Hotel, which sits only a few hundred yards from the runway threshold, was built primarily to prevent Massport from ever extending the length of 14/32 or using it for takeoffs or landings over the city. Massachusetts state legislators carefully chose the location of the hotel directly in the runway center line prior to its construction in 1992. FBOs. The airport is served by several fixed base operators, which handle fueling, ground handling, aircraft cleaning, cargo service and aircraft maintenance. They include Swissport USA and PenAir Servisair. General Aviation, which is adjacent to the North Cargo area, is handled by Signature Flight Support. Public safety, police services are provided by the Massachusetts State Police Troop. Air fire protection is the responsibility of the Massport Fire Rescue. Even though the airport is within city limits, by Massachusetts state law municipal police such as the Boston Police Department do not have jurisdiction on Massport property. Terminals. Logan International Airport has 103 gate positions total divided among 4 terminals, A, B, C, and E. All terminals are connected by pre-security shuttle buses, as well as between terminals A, B and E via moving walkways pre-security. Moving walkways also connect the terminals to a central parking garage designed for consolidated service between all 4 terminals and the garage itself. The concession program at the airport is developed, leased and managed by Air Mall USA and Terminals B and E and Westfield Concession Management Incorporated in Terminals A and C. Terminal A. Terminal A, which replaced a 1970s-era building designed by Minoru Yamasaki once occupied by the now-defunct Eastern Airlines, opened to passengers on March 16, 2005. The terminal, designed by Hellmuth, Abata and Casa-Baum, is divided into a main terminal and a satellite building. The main terminal and the satellite building are connected through an underground walkway. Terminal A was originally intended to be entirely occupied by Delta, however, Delta returned 11 of the gates to Massport for financial reasons. Terminal A features a Delta airline lounge on the 3rd floor of the satellite building. The building is the first airport terminal in the United States to be LEED certified for environmentally friendly design by the U.S. Green Building Council. Among the building's features are heat-reflecting roof and windows, low-flow faucets and waterless urinals, self-dimming lights, and stormwater filtration. Terminal B. Terminal B, which was designed by John Carl Warneck and Associates and Desmond and Lord, Incorporated, opened in 1974. Pier B was completed for U.S. Airways in 1974 and Pier A for American Airlines in 1975. The terminal remained largely unchanged until U.S. Airways expanded its operations at Logan Airport in 1979 and improvements designed by HNTB were constructed in 1980. From 1980 until 2000, numerous small projects including passenger seating area improvements, concessions expansions, and passenger lounges were completed at both piers. American's facilities were renovated in 1995 and designed by Gresham, Smith and Partners, and U.S. Airways facilities were renovated in 1998 and 2000 and designed by URS Corporation with Turner Construction serving as the construction manager. Terminal B was split into north and south buildings, with a parking garage located between the two buildings. The gates of the south building are divided into three groups, B1 B3, B4 B14, and B15 B19. Gates B4-14 and B15 B19 are connected by a walkway post security. The gates of the north building are divided into two groups, B20 B36 and B37 B38. Gates B20-29 are used by United Airlines while gates B30 B36 serve American Airlines. Gates B37 and B38 are home to Virgin America. Between 2012 and 2014, Terminal B underwent a $160 million renovation, which was completed in April 2014. The renovation created a post-security walkway connecting Terminal B North to Terminal B South. The renovation also included 24 new ticket counter spots, 8 new departure lounges, new concession space, and a new baggage carousel. United Airlines, formerly located in Terminals A and C, began operating all flights out of Terminal B starting on April 30, 2014. Terminal C. Terminal C opened in 1967 and was designed by Perry, Shaw, Hepburn and Dean. It was renovated in 1987, in 2002, and in 2005. It has three groups of gates, C11 C21, C25 C36, and C40 C42. The two Terminal C security checkpoints providing access to gates C11 through C21 on the left and gates C25 to C36 on the right were replaced by a common checkpoint on July 20, 2011. Continuing the renovations of Terminal C, Massport has plans to build a post-security connector between gates C40 C42 and C11 C36 which will make all gates accessible through one common security checkpoint. Massport also has plans to build a post-security connector between Terminal C and Terminal E allowing for seamless connections between the two terminals which is part of Massport's plan to ultimately connect all terminals post-security. The Terminal D gates were renumbered and labeled as part of Terminal C on February 28, 2006. The terminal serves JetBlue Airways, as well as its partner, Cape Air. The airport's USO lounge is located in the baggage claim area of Terminal C, lower level. It offers most typical amenities as other markets as major as Greater Boston. Military ID is mandatory. Terminal E. Terminal E, also known as the John A. Volpe International Terminal named after the former governor of Massachusetts and U.S. Secretary of Transportation, serves as the international terminal for Logan Airport. The terminal was completed in 1974 and designed by Kibitz and Pape, Incorporated and Desmond and Lord, Incorporated. Massport completed the Terminal E modernization project in August 1997 which improved the passenger facilities. The International Gateway Project, designed by Skidmore, Owings and Merrill and DMJM Aviation, added 410,000 square feet to the terminal in 2003, and the entire project was completed in 2008. Except for the gates leased by Southwest Airlines and Airtran Airways, all gates within the terminal are designated as common use, meaning the gates may be assigned mostly depending on an operational need. All ticket counters and gates in Terminal E are shared among the international carriers, except for the counters leased by Southwest Airlines and Airtran Airways. The terminal houses several airline lounges, Aer Lingus Gold Circle Lounge, Air France's Air France Lounge, British Airways First Lounge and Terraces Lounge, Lufthansa's Senator Lounge and Business Lounge, and Virgin Atlantic's Clubhouse Lounge. The third level of Terminal E is used for departures, the second for passport control, and the ground level for arrivals and customs. The Federal Inspection Station located in Terminal E is capable of processing over 2,000 passengers per hour. Terminal E will undergo a $100 million renovation, starting in 2014, which will include a post-security connector between Terminals E and C, improved immigration and passport control kiosks, and gates capable of serving the Airbus A380. Airlines and destinations. Note: all international arrivals are handled at Terminal E. Top destinations. Cargo. Logan Airport is a medium-sized airport in terms of cargo, handling 684,875 tons of freight in 2012, making it 10th busiest airport in the U.S. in terms of cargo. It handles many U.S.-based cargo airlines, including ABX Air, DHL, FedEx Express, and UPS Airlines. It also has cargo offices for many international cargo carriers, including British Airways World Cargo, Cathay Pacific Cargo, China Airlines Cargo, EVA Air Cargo, LAN Cargo and Saudia Cargo. It has two cargo complexes, the North Cargo Terminal, located near Terminal E, and South Cargo, located near Terminal A, ground transportation. Boston Logan International Airport has the accolade of easiest airport to get to in a 2007 article on aviation.com because of the variety of options to from the airport. These options include cars, taxis, the MBTA Blue and Silver lines, regional bus services, shared ride vans, limousines and a service offered by few U.S. airports, Logan Express. Logan is 3 miles northeast of downtown Boston, a short distance compared with airports in other cities. Roads and tolls. By public roads, the airport is accessible via Exit 26 of the Massachusetts Turnpike, near its eastern terminus, which provides easy access from the west via the Ted Williams Tunnel. East of Exit 26, I-90 transitions to Route 1A to Lynn, New Hampshire. From the south, travelers on Interstate 93 can connect to the Mass Pike East, through the Ted Williams Tunnel and take Exit 26 to reach the airport. From the north, I-93 traffic to the airport uses the Callahan Tunnel, Route 1A North. From the North Shore, access is via Route 1A South. Additionally, road traffic from most of downtown Boston, Back Bay and Fenway Boston University should use the Callahan Tunnel. The westbound twin tunnel to the Callahan Tunnel is known as the Sumner Tunnel. Eastbound travel through the tunnels is free, but there is a $3.50 toll for westbound travel, and a $5.25 toll for taxis, which passengers are responsible for. Public transportation. Massports Airport Shuttle provides service between all terminals to the airport station on the Blue Line and the newly opened rental car center, as well as additional service to the water transportation dock located on Harborside Drive. Massports Logan Express bus service serves the areas of Braintree, Framingham, Peabody, and the Anderson Regional Transportation Center in Woburn for an adult fare of $12 one-way and $22 round-trip per passenger. Massports Logan Express also serves Back Bay for $5 per passenger or free for riders with a current valid MBTA pass. Logan Express operates on the lower-level curb of all terminals. The MBTA's Silver Line SL1 bus rapid transit service connects South Station, a major MBTA commuter rail, Amtrak, Red Line subway and bus transportation hub in the downtown Boston Financial District, with all Logan terminals. Service on the Silver Line from all Logan Airport terminals to South Station is free. There is also an airport stop on the MBTA's Blue Line subway service. The Blue Line stop is not in the airport terminal itself. Free shuttle buses 55, 22, and 33 provided by Massport bring passengers from the train station to the terminal buildings. The Blue Line connects with the Orange and Green Lines, which provide service to North Station, the other major rail transportation hub for Boston. The MBTA also operates a water shuttle connecting Logan with downtown Boston, Quincy, and Hull. On-demand service from the airport to various locations on the downtown waterfront is provided by a fleet of water taxis. Limousine and taxi, limousine pickup is also very common at the airport. Limousine drivers are not allowed to leave their vehicles at the designated pickup areas, and pickup locations vary depending on the terminal. For Terminal A, the pickup location is on the arrival level, outside baggage claim, in a small parking lot across the road. For Terminal B, limousine drivers wait for their passengers inside the Terminal B parking garage on the lower level. At Terminal C, pickup is on the departure level at the second and third islands from the building. At Terminal E, pickup is also on the arrival level in a small parking lot across the outermost curb. For public safety, soliciting passengers anywhere on Logan Airport property by any ground transportation provider is punishable by a $500 fine for each offense. Taxi operations are coordinated at each terminal by Massport. Massport's regulations prohibit taxis from picking up fares at any location other than the designated taxi stands located at curbside on the lower levels of Terminals A, C and D. For both sides of Terminal B, shuttle van services, limos and taxis all wait for passengers inside the Terminal B parking garage on the lower level. Excellent new signage inside B terminals directs passengers to the various modes of ground transportation. A large taxi pool near the South Cargo Complex serves as the staging area for up to 400 taxis, which are typically paged to terminal taxi stands in groups of 5 or 10 after waiting for up to 90 minutes or more. Metered rates from Logan Airport to most Boston hotels range from approximately $23 to $35. The airport fee for all taxi trips leaving Logan is $2.25 and is entered into the taximeter by the driver. In addition, the full $5.25 Harbor Tunnel toll is entered into the meter for taxi trips leaving the airport via either the Sumner Tunnel or the Ted Williams Tunnel. The combined fee toll amount is displayed on the right side of the taxi meter and is automatically added to the metered fare when the taxi has reached the passenger's destination and the meter is stopped. Taxi trips within a 20-mile radius of Boston City Hall are charged by running the taximeter. Taxi drivers will quote fare amounts from the official Boston Police Department flat rate handbook to destinations outside the 20-mile radius. Additionally, the City of Boston allows its taxis to collect half the Harbor Tunnel toll on trips to Logan Airport. No airport fee is collected on taxi trips to the airport. As of April 2009, all Boston taxicabs accept fare payment by credit or debit card. The passenger is walked through a series of steps displayed on a touchscreen in the rear passenger compartment of the taxi. Upon request, a meter-generated receipt will be issued. Cell phone lot. Logan International Airport offers a 30-minute cell phone waiting lot area at the intersection of Hotel Drive and Service Road, which is complimentary and 5 minutes from all terminals by car. This convenient service exists to reduce congestion and pollution problems. Rental Car Center, a $120,000 SQAFT $310 million rental car center opened on September 24, 2013, consolidating all rental car companies into one shared building. Advantage, Alamo, Avis, Budget, Dollar, Enterprise, Hertz, National and Thrifty rental car companies operate out of the new facility, which has 3,200 parking spaces across 4 levels. Access to the new facility is done through a new unified bus system consisting of 28 fuel-efficient clean hybrid buses operated by Massport, which provides service between all the terminals and the rental car center. Hotels. Both Hilton and Hyatt operate hotels on airport grounds near Terminal A, with the latter property overlooking downtown Boston and Boston Harbor. Other facilities. Currently, major air cargo companies such as British Airways World Cargo, Lufthansa Cargo, Cathay Pacific Cargo, Martina Cargo, China Airlines Cargo, EVA Air Cargo, and many more cargo carriers have cargo offices on airport property. Also, American Airlines, Delta, and JetBlue have maintenance hangars at the airport, all located adjacent to the office building near Terminal E and the North Cargo Terminal. Delta Tech OPS is Delta Airlines' primary maintenance, repair and overhaul arm. Incidents and accidents. On October 4, 1960, Eastern Airlines Flight 375 crashed into the sea while attempting to take off from Logan Airport. 62 people died and 10 people survived, incurring serious injuries. On November 15, 1961, a Vickers Viscount N6592C of Northeast Airlines was written off when it collided with the Douglas DC-6N8228H of National Airlines after landing at Logan International Airport. The DC-6 had started to take off without receiving clearance to do so. On July 31, 1973, Delta Airlines Flight 723, a McDonnell Douglas DC-9, crashed into the seawall, causing the deaths of all 83 passengers and 6 crew members on board. One of the passengers initially survived the accident but later died in a hospital. On November 3, 1973, Pan Am Flight 160, a Boeing 707-321C cargo aircraft, crashed on approach to Boston Logan. Smoke in the cockpit caused the pilots to lose control. 3 people died in the hull loss accident. On January 23, 1982, World Airways Flight 30 from Newark to Boston made a non-precision instrument approach to runway 15R and touched down 2,800 feet past the displaced threshold on an icy runway. When the crew sensed that the DC-10-30CF couldn't be stopped on the remaining runway, they steered the DC-10 off the side of the runway to avoid the approach light pier, and slid into the shallow water of Boston Harbor. The nose section separated as the DC-10 came to rest 250 feet past the runway end, 110 feet left of the extended center line. 2 passengers were never found and are presumed to have been swept out to sea. Incidents. On October 2, 1954, a Massachusetts Air National Guard F-94 Starfire experienced engine failure and crashed near Logan Airport. Its pilot, First Lieutenant James O. Conway, sacrificed his life by veering the plane into an embankment on Bayswater Street in East Boston. A memorial was placed nearby. On July 2, 1976, an unoccupied Eastern Airlines L-188 Electra parked at Boston Logan Airport was destroyed by a bomb planted in the landing gear compartment. No one was injured. On April 3, 1979, a portion of the south wing of Terminal E at Logan Airport was evacuated when an incendiary device triggered a blaze in a third-floor men's room. The 2 aircraft hijacked in the September 11, 2001 attacks that were flown into the World Trade Center, American Airlines Flight 11 and United Airlines Flight 175, originated at Logan. American flags now hang over gates B-32 and C-19, the respective gates that the 2 planes pushed back from. On January 7, 2013, ground crew workers noticed smoke coming out from the battery compartment in a parked Japan Airlines Boeing 787 Dreamliner at the gate. This fire was caused by overcharged lithium-ion batteries, eventually leading to the grounding of the worldwide 787 fleet and subsequent redesign of the battery systems. August 4, 2014, JetBlue Flight 1668 from Charleston International Airport landed safely at Boston Logan International Airport after experiencing mechanical problems. There were no reported injuries. Alternate airports. To address Logan Airport's overcrowding, Massport has designated 2 out-of-state airports as the second and third airports of Boston: Manchester-Boston Regional Airport in Manchester, New Hampshire, located approximately 44 statute miles north-northwest of Logan, which converts to an average drive time of 48 minutes via I-93. And T.F. Green Airport in Warwick, Rhode Island, located 63 statute miles south-southwest of Logan, averaging a 1-hour, 8-minute drive to Logan via I-95, or a 75-minute ride on commuter rail from South Station. Massport does not operate these facilities. Worcester Regional Airport in Worcester, which is also operated by Massport, also serves as an alternative to Logan. Currently, JetBlue Airways is the only commercial airline providing service to Worcester. See also. References. External links. Official website, Logan International Airport on Facebook, Boston Logan International Airport on Google+, terminal map of Logan International Airport, Airport Wayfinder, Boston, noise complaints, FAA Airport Diagrammer, PDF, effective July 24, 2014, resources for this airport, AirNav Airport information for KBOS, ASN accident history for BOS, FlightAware Airport information and live flight tracker, NOAA/NWS latest weather observations, Sky Vector aeronautical chart for KBOS, FAA current BOS delay information.